It's the middle Sunday of Wimbledon, and what cracking matches we have had today. Before we get into the huge games with Djokovic and Alcaraz, I'm just going to summarise the other ones. I'm your host Henry Tui, welcome to the show, and subscribe if you love tennis. First up, it was game set and match Goffin. He defeated Francis Tiafoe in a 5-set marathon. It was a crazy match, so many twists and turns, and a brilliant 4.5-hour contest. Tiafoe was really hitting the ball well, just excellent pace generation, and was just angling the ball so well, really looked great on the grass. But Goffin always had his poker face, as he always does, just stayed very calm, focused, patient, waiting for his moment to strike, and he did. It was a really entertaining match. Tiafoe really fired up the crowd, there was a great atmosphere and great sportsmanship between them, lovely moments. And it was just a brilliant contest, and to prove how close it was, Goffin won 205 points and Tiafoe 198. So there were really only a couple of points in it, and Goffin took them, and he just played those big moments just a little bit better than Tiafoe. But superb match, and really fun to watch. Next up, Cameron Norrie defeated Tommy Paul. It was a quite straightforward straight set victory for Norrie. He served well, he took his chances when he could, and Paul did put up a good fight, but Norrie really showed his mettle, played very consistently, just got the job done. No frills, no spills, excellent performance from him. Sorry if you've noticed the lighting's changed, this video took all day to make, so it has changed. And now on to Djokovic versus Reithoven. Just to start off with, Reithoven served really well. 125 miles per hour plus on his first serve, and it seemed like always triple digits on his second, which is hard to deal with. But there is a reason why Djokovic is potentially the greatest returner of all time. And as he always does, he did a great job of neutralising the serve and putting a lot of pressure on Tim van Rijthoven. His numbers dropped. His unreturned serves went from 60% the rest of Wimbledon to 30% against Djokovic. So he's getting half the amount of free points that he was the rest of the tournament. Which is massive, mentally, physically, just so many more balls to hit once they're coming back a lot more often. And Djokovic just did the classic play, as he does, just the deep grinder style. He just outlasted Tim in the rallies and built up the pressure by, as I said, always getting another ball back, more to hit, more to think about, and more balls to make errors on. But Tim did raise his level in the second set. Although we did look calm in the first set, I'm sure there were definitely nerves. The big stage, big crowd, lots of noise against potentially the greatest player of all time. But he really did start timing the ball well, his serve was really firing, and he was just playing a very clean match. And he took the second set. And it was just great to see him take a set off Djokovic. But Djokovic responded by doubling down on his consistent aggression and just went into lockdown mode. Completely shut down Tim's momentum, never let him get a foothold, and almost bageled him, took it 6-1, and it was a very dominant performance and very similar to how he played against Kokkinakis. So dialed in and just so clinical. Not much that Reithoven could do, just Djokovic was playing that well. And he then cruised from there on in, really. But yeah, congratulations to Djokovic for a great performance, and also congratulations for Tim. A brilliant tournament, and I'm sure that won't be the last we hear of the Dutchman. Big credit to him for fighting for every point, even when the match was very near its end. Just putting a good fight the whole time, so well done to him. But yeah, all the best for him and the rest of his season. The crowd really love him out there. So let's go on to the stars of the show. It was game, set and match Sinan. He overcomes Alcaraz for the first time in his career. But let's start with the class of Sinan. And the big key reason why he won was the return. It was the difference in this match. Alcaraz had barely any answers to Sinan's masterclass, really. His return was just phenomenal. It was hard, it was deep, it was consistent. First and second serves punished at will. He wasn't doing anything fancy either. He was going down the middle, but with power and depth. Wasn't making a move. It was just too heavy and difficult to deal with for Alcaraz. And he just put so much pressure on Alcaraz's serve because he needed to find the perfect serve if he wanted to get a free point off of it for at least the first 2.5 sets, really. and just the pace rushed Alcaraz so much, took all the time away from him, and it was just such a clever tactical choice to always go for the return at every possible moment, because it meant Alcaraz couldn't dictate, which is what he wants to do in the point. He immediately put Alcaraz on the back foot and controlled him rather than the other way around. And Alcaraz was just barely holding on for the first 2.5 sets really, just scraping through service games as Sinner cruised. In the last round, Sinner played John Isner, and he broke him several times and defeated him in straight sets. And if you can break Isner, you can break anyone. But the confidence to be so aggressive while in this position, these are uncharted waters for him. He's never got to the second week of Wimbledon, never been to the quarterfinals. And it was just really admirable, his first time, and he really took it to his opponent. But then Alcaraz raised his level in the third set. Suddenly he was getting those elusive 3 points on his serve and was stringing together little bits of magic, his 1-2 punch, the variety, and all of a sudden the pressure was back on Sinner. And for the first time, at the business end of that third set, Sinner was rattled. He was nervous, the errors were creeping in, and it looked like he knew he was near the finish line. And it was slowly just starting to chip away at his game. But yeah, Alcaraz comes up with magic in the third set tiebreak, saves 2 match points and takes it 10-8. And if Sinner was nervous before losing that first set, knowing he was near, he surely was afterwards. But he showed his grit, he showed his mettle, because he squeezed through that opening game. He served first and he saved 2 break points along the way. And the momentum had clearly swung in Alcaraz's favour. But as momentum does, it swung again. A loose game from Alcaraz gifted Sinner the break in the 4th set, and then a loose game from Sinner gave it right back. You would think, but I blinked and Sinner went from love 40 down and won the next 5 points in a row to hold serve. An unbelievable time to find his most clutch tennis of the entire match. And from then on, he cruised to the finish line, sealed the victory, and is, for the first time ever in his career, through to the second week at Wimbledon. It was an incredible match. Congratulations to both, Sinner especially. Just the return. This new gen rivalry between them is going to be fantastic as well. It's going to be great for the sport and for them pushing each other on to keep improving. Their head-to-head now stands at 2-1 for Alcaraz. Brilliant matches these two have played, and I can't wait for their future encounters. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, once again, congratulations to Sinner. An unbelievable performance from him, and I can't wait to see how his tournament progresses. But let me know what you thought of today's matches in the comment sections below. And thank you for all the comments on the support on the last videos and everything. It really does mean a lot, so thank you very much. But I've been Henry Tui. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you later.